Wow, it actually happened. Being honest, I didn't think it would, especially not after all this time. Then again, I didn't think I'd be touching this franchise again, but there we go. So I watched the pilot. I'll give my my initial thoughts as an ex-fan before I let the people who actually care about the show dissect it for like an hour or two. I'm looking at you, Nick. I should explain how I got here before we get into it. The only reason I found out about this is because I was on Google. I was looking up for some info for a tour that Ringo Starr is doing in June. And next thing I know, I see news articles, Lost Thomas and Friends pilot to be released. And I'm like, oh shit, they're actually doing it. And then I found the interview with Ian McHugh, and then it went from there. I was not expecting it. There was no build up to this either. I mean, people have been speculating rather, that it was going to happen, but I mean, it's like that World War II movie that they're supposedly working on. They announced it like 10, 12 years ago, and nothing's ever come out about it. So yeah, it wasn't bad. It was kind of surreal, actually. I mean, if you know me and you've seen Video Memories, you know how much I grew up on this show, and it was kind of surreal to see something new from that era that I'd never seen before. It was really trippy. It's like watching a movie you love, and then you see a deleted scene from you watch a movie that like 1,000 times over 20, 25 years, and then you see a bit of footage that was cut from the movie just before release, and it's surreal. That's the best word I have for it. If I'm being objective, it's not as complete as I would have liked. If you've seen the BBC interview with Ian McHugh, they mentioned the footage was in bad quality. It was incomplete. So when I watched it, I did notice certain aspects or certain scenes that were recycled. Plus, Ringo's narration for the first minute and a half is taken from the version that got remade for the actual TV broadcast. I could spot that right away. Season 1 of Thomas and Friends is the season I've watched the most. I've probably watched the entire 26 episode season at least 100 times by now, if not more. So yeah, like I said, it's not as complete as I would have liked, but what we got was pretty nice, and they did a really clean job with it. Yeah, like I say, I recognised the recycled scenes. I recognised Ringo's narration because I've seen the TV broadcast at least 100 times. And then when they cut to the mine, I don't know if that's a demo. That was a demo narration Ringo did. I mean, Brett Allcroft claimed that he did do one, and it's very noticeable. It's very jarring compared to the version that made it for TV. I'm guessing she approached him with the idea for this pilot she was working on. Ringo said yes, so he obviously didn't think much of it. He must not have, actually, because I mean, if you've seen him talk about the show, he didn't grow up with the books. He didn't think kids would be into it, so he did a very basic narration. I mean, then again, if it's just a demo reel, it wouldn't have needed to be much. I mean, it's all about winning over executives at ITV. So he did that, and then when the show got greenlit, he would have done a second take with proper production quality in it. So yeah, I don't know if it's I know he did a Ladybird. He did a second recording for Ladybird books. I did videos on them 10, 15 years ago by now. Jesus. So I haven't listened to that version in a while. But honestly, it sounds very basic. The narration at the mine sounds very basic, so I would imagine it was a demo narration. And honestly, that's impressive that, considering it was a demo, it was for a pilot that hadn't been greenlit yet. I'm surprised they didn't just have a temp recording or a crew member just do the narration for that. It's like the Magic Railroad work print. Before they had certain voices cast, they just had 10 people do the voiceover. It's like Britt Allcroft. She did the adult version of Mara Wilson's character. You know, but hey, there you go. So yeah, what we got was pretty nice. It's very fascinating to see something like this after watching one version of it after 25 years. And since it's the 80th anniversary, there's been speculation about like a new piece of home media for the series. I mean, I figure since they've done this, they could potentially do a Blu-ray for season 1. I mean, you've got this as a bonus feature. Someone suggested doing ITV promos, bits of stuff from 1984. Hell, maybe throw some Nick Jr. in there, if you're feeling, if they're wanting to be thorough. I imagine doing the full series would be a bit tricky with home media, because that's what, 24 seasons, about 500 episodes, not all of them are the same length. I mean, seasons 1 through 7 were 4.5 minutes, and then it goes up to 7, then even up to almost 9 minutes. I imagine the original, the entire series would be a bit tricky. But hey, if it happens, I mean, God knows how many discs that would be. I mean, if you stayed conservative and you tried to cram everything onto one disc with no bonus features, that's still 22 discs. 24 discs, actually. And if you split it up like 2 per season and with bonus features, and maybe alternate languages if they're feeling fancy. I think there are some American the American DVDs that have a Spanish track for the narration for those DVDs. I don't know. I haven't collected a Thomas DVD, and normally since I went to Canada in 2008, and for video memories since I had to replace a couple of DVDs for a review there. Yeah, that would be a nightmare logistically to try for that to try and do a complete series for Thomas Friends. And I don't even know. I dread to think the size of the case. Honestly, it'd be like trying to do a complete series for Looney Tunes. Honestly. So yeah, those are my brief thoughts. I thought it was impressive. I thought it was quite well done. I would have liked to have been fully complete, but it's like those restorations they did for the first 3 seasons 20 years ago. You can only do so much. So yeah, I thought it was pretty good, and I shall see you next time.